everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be filming a what I wish I knew before starting my business video today. One thing that I've been doing lately, and I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it's been filming content that I wish that I had had. Whether it's what I wish I had before starting a business. I hope that this video helps you in any way, like other videos have helped me in the past. And I'm just creating more content that I genuinely enjoy watching, so I hope that you enjoy watching it too. Anyways, this video is obviously what I wish I knew before starting my business, but to give you a little backstory, if you are new here, my name is Natalie and I am the co-founder and CEO of a startup called Rella. We are launching in November, and what it is we are an all-in-one social media management tool for influencers to help manage and run their business. We really want to be the only tool an influencer needs to really run their business. That's essentially what we're creating. So I have been an influencer content creator for 10 years, and it just came out of a need that I had personally wanted, and I didn't feel like there was a product out there. We're currently still fundraising. The very first launch is coming around in November. I mean, it's exciting, it's crunch time, it's scary, it's nerve-wracking, and that's kind of my entrepreneurship status as of now. I really have made social media my own business, and I have been working for myself for the past 2 years. This is really for anyone that is self-employed and working for themselves and running their own business. The very first thing that I wish I had known is that once the excitement goes away, it is incredibly exhausting. And this isn't to mean that the excitement is gone. I know it's worded like that. I feel like in the beginning stages of a business, you have this idea, and it's this amazing idea, and you're sharing it with everyone, and people are validating you, and you're coming up with the name, and you're coming up with the branding, and it's so exciting because you are a business owner. And for some people, having that role is a thrill in itself. Even if you're not actually doing anything yet, just having that title, coming up with an idea is such a thrill. I really strongly relate to that. I love coming up with these new ideas. Once the dust settles and once you really are working on your business, it is so exhausting and it is not fun all the time. I have an issue with the phrase, if you love what you do, you'll never have to work a day in your life, because that's just so not true. If you love what you do, you will still have to work, and it will still be exhausting, and you will be tired. The excitement is still there because we haven't even launched yet, but we really are just like heads down working to get this launch in November. It's freaking tiring. There is just so much stuff that you have to do. There is a never-ending to-do list. I mean, you always feel like you're behind on, what you have to do next. And that kind of leads me to my next one, which is that the majority of starting a business, working on a business, running your own business is exactly that, running a business. You will be in the weeds a lot in the sense of legal work, accounting, making sure that your business is functioning, payroll, taxes, administration tasks, working on business development, marketing strategies, and actually implementing it, which takes up time and is a lot of work. I recommend outsourcing 100% for things that you are not good at, for things that there are experts for. It's not constantly dreaming of new ideas. And it's a lot of administration tasks. I feel like when you work for a company, you don't see all that goes into it because you have one role and that is your dedicated role. But when you are running a business, you realize that you are wearing every single hat at once. And so that's just something to note. Another thing is also it takes a lot of unexpected expenses. And this is when I really recommend budgeting and making a very clear budget for your business. There are so many unexpected expenses that come up, and the biggest ones that I always see are legal and accounting. Those are the two things that I underestimate a little bit on how much it's actually going to cost. Lawyers are expensive, guys. So I would just make sure that you are comfortable with budgeting and that you really do understand how much money it is going to take you to run this business. Get quotes from professionals that you'll be working with. Really try to think of every scenario and all the expenses that you're going to need. Whenever you are going to charge your credit card, make sure that it is an expense that is actually going to help you grow your business. Because at the end of the day, if your expenses don't help you grow your business, it's not worth it. And related to money, it is really difficult to get funding. This is the first venture that I have ever had to raise money for. Starting an application, starting a tech startup is very, very capital intensive, which means we need money for it. Starting a company and business in general is very capital intensive, but for what we're doing, We're trying to raise the least amount of money. And that's just because we don't want to dilute equity too much. So what we're currently doing is we're raising a $500,000 convertible note round. We're about a quarter of the way there. So really we're reaching out to angel investors for the most part, trying not to go the venture capital route because usually they write a lot larger check sizes and they take a lot more of your company. And we are trying to keep as much equity as possible. We don't want to dilute our company too much because the more money you raise, the more diluted your company gets. And that's just not something that we want to do. And I didn't realize how difficult it would be to raise money. I never had an idea that it would be easy or hard. I just kind of jumped into it and figured it out along the way. I never had to raise money in the past. I never was interested in raising money in the past. So I never was even interested in people that raise money. Like I didn't even know what it would entail to raise money. So when I got thrown into it with Rella, it was such a learning curve for me, and it was something that I realized is so difficult. And that brings me to our sponsor of today's video, which is Clearco. Clearco is the world's largest e-commerce investor, and they have a product called Clear Capital that is specifically for growth capital, which is used to scale businesses and make sure that you maintain 100% of your company. I'm telling you guys, equity is so important, and it's not something that you want to give up easily. We really are trying to reserve as much equity as we can in this fundraising process. Clearco was actually founded by a serial entrepreneur, Michelle Romanow. They use data to identify growth opportunity in less than 24 hours. And because they take a more data-driven approach, they eliminate the bias that comes with venture capital, with investors in general. And Clearco has invested 8 times more female founders than traditional venture capitalists, which, let me just tell you, as a female founder, I have definitely noticed that struggle a little bit of being a female founder, trying to raise money and trying to raise capital. And so it makes me really happy to see that Clearco takes the bias out of that decision making. They've already invested $2.5 billion in more than 5,500 companies, which is literally insane. Let that sink in. 2.5 billion plus and 5,500 companies. They have a bunch of stories from founders that they've invested in on their website, and I spent so long just digging through all of them and hearing all of their stories because to me that was just super inspiring, especially as someone who is a little earlier than these founders, kind of going through the ropes. So if you have a company that you are trying to raise funding for, I highly recommend you click the link down below. Even if you aren't raising funding right now, and even if you're not planning on raising funding, they just have a lot of resources for founders, for business owners. So click on the link down below to check out Clearco. Thank you, Clearco, for sponsoring today's video. And the other thing that I wish people had told me before starting a business is that you are going to hear a million opinions, but you have to be confident in the one that you make, and you have to be confident in your business. And the reason why I say this is because I don't want it to seem that opinions and advice from other people are wrong, because I have talked to so many other entrepreneurs that have been there, done the same thing I'm doing, and they give such amazing advice, and I value their advice so much. But there comes a point where you cannot just take everyone's advice blindly and implement it. You have to make sure that you are confident in your own business. If you send out a pitch deck, for example, and send it out to feedback to 10 people, I can guarantee you those 10 people will all have something different to say. Someone might like something that the other person has to get rid of. So you have to, at the end of the day, be confident in what you are doing and take that advice, process it, think about if it makes sense with your business, and then implement it if you feel like it's necessary, but don't implement advice blindly. No one knows your business better than you, so you have to be confident in what you're making. That doesn't mean I don't think you should talk to people. It doesn't mean I don't think you should ask for advice, because I actually think that talking to people and asking for advice is one of the best things you can do, especially as a new business owner. But be confident in your business, know your business. And going off of that, networking is so crucial. Talk to everyone. I have never networked harder than I have right now. If you, no matter what business you are making, find people that have been in your shoes before and reach out to them. LinkedIn has been my best friend lately. I will reach out to anyone and everyone. Your university, if you went to college, is such a great resource. I've used NC State more now than even when I was in school. I've talked to everyone and anyone. I've talked to grandparents of people. I've talked to distant cousins, someone that introduced me to someone that introduced me to someone. I think I have talked to 100 people in the past year, networking for Rella. They have been such valuable relationships. I have found mentors from it. I have found people that have introduced me to potential investors from it. I have found friends from it. Networking is so crucial. So do not be afraid to put yourself out there and to talk to anyone and everyone. I'm a part of a bunch of like female founders Slack groups and Facebook groups. I'm a part of a group called Women in Influencer Marketing. I'm a part of a passion economy Slack channel with investors and founders and entrepreneurs. I'm a part of so many different groups that I found online, and they're all so valuable because I have met people through them and I've had conversations through them. I have immersed myself into founder life, into entrepreneurship, into networking with other entrepreneurs, and that has been one of the most valuable things that I could have done. And another thing, which you know this one is coming, but it is that you need to manage your time, and time management is so important. This is a pretty basic one if you are self-employed, but there is no one telling you what to do, and the business falls on you. Obviously, if you take on investors, then you kind of have people telling you what to do, but at the end of the day, it really is on you, and you have to be good at time management. So if you don't have a calendar that you follow religiously, if you don't have systems in place that are, you know, good for time management, you're gonna fall behind. Figure it out, because it's one of the most important things about being a founder. And with time management, like I said, implement things that help you manage your time better, that help you be more productive. At Rella, we have systems in place where we are a really productive team. At Rella, we have systems in place to be a more productive team, and here are a few of them. Let me pull up my week view on my Google Calendar. All right, so on Monday mornings, I have a check-in with Kayla. She is our girl that runs influencer marketing and influencer management. I have a call with her every single morning at 9:30 a.m. Then I have a call with my founders, and it's our founder meeting where we talk about what we are doing this week, what our goals are, anything that we need questions on before the week begins. And at the end of the day, we have an all hands on deck meeting with our dev team, our product design team, and all of the founders. And that is when our front-end developer, our designers, the founders, we can all chat, see progress with the application, we can answer any questions. It also is just a good way to make sure all of us are communicating. We're such a small team that we have the privilege of all getting to know each other, so I really love having those meetings. On Tuesday, I have a marketing meeting with our marketing and social media girl, who is also our lead designer. She wears many hats. On Wednesdays, we have a design meeting and a dev meeting that I join. I join every single design meeting, but I only join one dev meeting a week, just so I can, you know, see what the dev team is up to and make sure everything's on track. While my other co-founder, he's the one that has dev stand-ups every single morning. On Thursday, we have another founder meeting, and this is just a founder alignment meeting where we make sure that we are aligned with everything. We do mental health checks. We are able to brainstorm new ideas. And then on Friday, we have another design meeting and another wrap-up founder meeting. Because we have those meetings in place every single week, they really help us stay productive and structured. We also have a Slack where we are constantly in communication with each other, and we use ClickUp to add all of our files, make comments on any certain projects and tasks. And now that we are in the kind of testing version of our app, we store all the bugs in there. So we just have systems where we can communicate with each other. We have everything stored, and we are constantly touching base with one another. And I think that if you are a business owner, you might not need all those meetings that I have on my calendar. You might need more, you might need less, but you should implement structures that just help you maintain productivity. And another thing to note is that it is a pretty lonely journey being a founder and being an entrepreneur in general. I have people that I work with, which really makes it a little bit less lonely, but at the same time, we are a remote team, and so I work alone. I am working at my house by myself at all times. There are days, Monday through Friday, for the most part, I don't see a single person, like literally no one. And I even forget that like I haven't socialized with someone in so long. It can definitely be a lonely journey, but I think it's so worth it. And this video, for the most part, I feel like was a pretty negative video, and it wasn't meant to be negative. So I want to wrap it up with saying that it is the most rewarding thing. You will never, ever want to go back to working for someone else afterwards. And it's something that can really bring you joy if this is something that, you know, you just feel like you are made to do. So I will definitely say I have such a passion for what I'm doing. I'm so passionate about what we're building at Rella. I love my team. I love what we're doing, and I never want to work for anyone else again. So I will say that even though there are obviously a lot of things that you need to look out for and realize that it's not as glamorous as some people make it out to be, I don't regret a single second, and I want to do this forever. So it's something I literally want to do forever. So that is my things that I wish I knew before starting a business. If you have started a business, please add your own things down in the comments, kind of get advice from everyone else. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I think that it's definitely a video that I would want to see before starting a business. And also, if you guys want to sign up for Rella, if you are an influencer, content creator, it does not matter how small of an influencer you are, go to rellasocial.com and you can sign up and you will be notified whenever the app launches. You can also join our Slack community, which is a bunch of other influencers that all like ask each other questions. We do live sessions on there. We're also launching a webinar soon, so if you sign up, you'll be notified for that as well. Follow us at Rella Social on Instagram and TikTok. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I loved making this and I love making more entrepreneurship content. So if you do enjoy that, please be sure to subscribe. But I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.